Imagine visiting a family to celebrate the birth of a new baby. You expect balloons, gifts, or maybe a cake. Instead, someone hands you a bright red egg. At first, it seems strange. Why an egg, and why is it red? For thousands of years, Chinese families have celebrated newborn babies with this unusual tradition. Even today, millions of people continue the practice, passing it from one generation to the next. But these red eggs are more than just food. They carry a hidden meaning that most people outside China have never heard of. And once you discover the story behind these red eggs, you'll understand why this ancient custom has survived for centuries. Every culture has special ways of welcoming a new baby into the world. Some families throw parties, some give gifts, others hold religious ceremonies. But in Chinese culture, one of the most recognizable traditions involved something surprisingly simple: eggs. Not ordinary eggs, bright red eggs. These eggs are often given to relatives, friends, neighbors, and guests to celebrate the arrival of a newborn child. To outsiders, the tradition can seem unusual. After all, why would a baby's birth be connected to eggs? The answer lies in centuries of history, symbolism, family values, and cultural beliefs. Today, we're exploring the fascinating story behind China's red egg tradition, why families still practice it, and what these simple red eggs reveal about the importance of new life in Chinese culture. To understand this tradition, we first need to understand the eggs themselves. Despite their unusual appearance, red eggs are actually ordinary chicken eggs that have been hard-boiled and dyed bright red. That's it. No special ingredients, no secret recipe. Yet these simple eggs carry enormous cultural significance. Traditionally, Chinese families prepare red eggs to announce the safe arrival of a newborn baby and share the family's happiness with relatives, friends, and neighbors. When guests receive a red egg, they immediately understand the message. A new life has entered the family, a joyful event has taken place, and everyone is invited to celebrate. But why use eggs? The answer comes from symbolism. For thousands of years, eggs have represented new life, birth, growth, and fresh beginnings. Think about it. A tiny living creature begins its journey inside an egg. In many cultures around the world, eggs symbolize creation and renewal. Chinese culture is no exception. When a baby is born, the egg becomes a powerful symbol of that new beginning. It represents potential, possibility, and the start of a completely new life. But that still leaves one important question. If eggs symbolize life, why make them red? Why not leave them white? The answer takes us into one of the most important colors in Chinese culture. In many parts of the world, red can symbolize danger, warning, or stop signs. But in Chinese culture, red has a very different meaning. For centuries, red has been associated with happiness, luck, prosperity, celebration, and protection. You'll see red decorations during Chinese New Year. You'll see red envelopes filled with money during special occasions. You'll see red used in weddings, festivals, and family celebrations. So when a baby is born, the color red becomes a natural choice. The bright red shell transforms an ordinary egg into a symbol of joy and good fortune. In traditional beliefs, the color red is also thought to help protect against negative influences and attract positive energy. Parents want the very best for their newborn child. They hope for health, they hope for happiness, and they hope for a bright future. The red egg becomes a way of expressing those wishes. Every egg carries a message. a message that says, "Welcome to the world. You are loved, and we hope your future will be filled with good fortune." But this tradition didn't appear overnight. In fact, its origins stretch back hundreds and possibly thousands of years into Chinese history. To understand why families still follow this custom today, we need to travel back in time. Like many traditions that have survived for generations, the exact origin of red eggs is difficult to trace. The custom is so old that historians still debate when it first began. But one thing is certain: Chinese families have been celebrating births with symbolic gifts for centuries. Long before modern hospitals existed, the birth of a healthy baby was considered a major achievement. Life was far less predictable than it is today. Medical care was limited, infant mortality rates were much higher, and many families faced enormous challenges during pregnancy and childbirth. Because of this, the successful birth of a child was seen as something truly worth celebrating. When a baby safely reached an important milestone after birth, families would gather together to share their happiness with relatives and friends. Over time, eggs became one of the most popular symbols used during these celebrations. They were simple, they were affordable, and most importantly, they perfectly represented new life. As the tradition evolved, families began dyeing the eggs red to symbolize joy, luck, and prosperity. Eventually, the custom became deeply connected to a baby's first major public celebration. In many Chinese communities, red eggs are traditionally distributed when a baby reaches 1 month of age. This event is sometimes called the full moon celebration. For many families, reaching the first month was an important milestone. It marked the baby's healthy arrival into the world and gave relatives a chance to officially welcome the newest member of the family. Guests would visit, families would gather, food would be shared, and red eggs would be handed out as symbols of happiness and gratitude. Even though modern life has changed dramatically, many families continue this tradition today. But what does a red egg celebration actually look like in the modern world? The answer may surprise you. Because despite living in a world of smartphones, social media, and modern hospitals, many Chinese families still honor this ancient tradition in ways that blend the old and the new. Today, red egg celebrations can look very different from one family to another. Some families organize large gatherings filled with relatives and friends. Others prefer smaller celebrations at home. And some modern parents combine traditional customs with contemporary styles. But one thing often remains the same: the red eggs. In many celebrations, guests receive beautifully packaged red eggs as keepsakes and symbols of good fortune. Sometimes the eggs are paired with other foods, such as cakes or traditional snacks. In larger cities, families may even order professionally designed gift boxes that combine ancient traditions with modern presentation. Social media has also changed the way people celebrate. Parents now share photos of their baby's special day online, allowing relatives from around the world to participate. Yet, despite all these modern changes, the meaning behind the tradition remains remarkably similar. Families are celebrating life, they are expressing gratitude, and they are sharing their joy with the people around them. What makes this especially interesting is that the tradition isn't really about the eggs themselves. The eggs are simply a symbol. The real message is much deeper. It's about family, it's about connection, and it's about welcoming a new human being into a community that will support them as they grow. In a world that changes faster every year, traditions like these help connect the present with the past. They remind families where they came from, and they remind new generations of the values that have been passed down for centuries. Together, they create one of China's most meaningful baby traditions: a simple tradition, a powerful message, and a beautiful way to welcome a new life into the world. I hope you found this tradition as interesting as I did.
If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more fascinating baby traditions, parenting customs, and cultural stories from around the world. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.